with the Monday Morning Jumpstart. Good morning, Marty.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I spent a big chunk of the day with Marty on Saturday.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
We
right.
went over to West Michigan. We went to the Dark Horse.
Oh, really?
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good time.
It's a good little work too.
Yeah.
That's kind of my neck of the woods. I mean, that's where I grew up.
In a bar.
Well,
Raised.
true also.
All right, Marty, what are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about willpower, why it fails, and then what we can do instead.
I have no willpower.
Well, you're not alone in that. So, well, you're not alone in that. Willpower doesn't work, and we should have figured that out by now. We just don't know what to do instead. So, what I like to do is have a little discussion about, what I'm meaning by this, and then be real practical in our 5 steps and a bonus.
Okay. We'll start the conversation next with your Monday Morning Jumpstart. You can watch us Facebook Live right now, facebook.com/W4Country, and join in with us even off the air. It's W4 in the morning.
Hey, Madison.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. This is your idea. I just had to. This is the angle we're going to take on that one that what you showed me about environment.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so it should be cool.
Using mine.
Hey, you guys, this is that neuro gum I was telling you about. Look, somebody asked about this.
What does it do?
It really works. It's got, I don't know what the chemical is. I got to research it, but one that's caffeine, of course, which works, but there's something else in this stuff. It just helps you to focus a little bit more.
Ashwagandha, Marty?
No,
I've been hearing a lot about
ashwagandha. I'm taking that right now, actually.
Are you?
Yeah, I take a lot of supplements.
I don't know any of this.
What makes the gum
Am I supposed to
special?
know what this means?
Cocaine.
Worked for Coca-Cola for a number of years.
Yeah. No, there's something in it though. It makes you feel really good.
There's something in it.
Something in it.
Maybe we'll find out.
Hello, Brian. Brian saying hi to Regina.
Who's Regina?
Who's Regina Z?
Did you replace me while I was gone?
He did. Bubba and Regina in the morning.
Yeah, we started branding Regina.
I like the name Regina. If my name was Regina, I think I would go by Reggie. I like it.
Reggie? That'd be cool for a woman.
Like Reggie Jackson.
Good morning, Phyllis.
I know Phyllis. How come I'm not seeing comments? Oh, there it is. Here you go. Someone asked about this last week. It's called Neuro Gum. I got it on Amazon.
NEURO gum, energy and focus.
Right, exactly. It's a nootropic. You know, a nootropic.
Does it jack you up?
Alert and calm. That's how I describe it. So alert and calm.
I don't see those two going hand in hand all that often.
Right?
Well, no, they actually do though. Like when you meditate, I think that's really the state. So you calm body, alert mind. You've had that plenty of times. When you're immersed in something, that's probably what you're feeling.
What
when you're focused.
Active ingredient or whatever? What was it?
Ashwagandha.
What is that?
No, that was my guess. I don't know if it's in there.
No, ashwagandha doesn't do this. I gotta get glasses because this is like fine print. Like the important stuff, like how much before you get poisoned, is always so small for old people who probably get poisoned more easily.
Ashwagandha.
You can't read it.
Poison gooseberry. What does that mean?
I do it to recover from workouts, and it's also I think that. Well, I'm not gonna say what I think.
All right, here we go.
Oh, hang on.
102.9 W4 Country, and I like the sound of that. It's Rascal Flatts. All right, your Monday Morning Jumpstart. We're talking about willpower and why it doesn't work. You go ahead and start, Mr. Marty.
Okay, just some observations I have, because in my clinical practice, really what I'm trying to do is get people moving in a different direction, right? And so there's the easy way of doing things or the hard way, which is the way that they've been doing it, right? So the easy way as far as motivation gets and willpower is forget all about it. It won't last long if you have it. You'll wear it out. So we don't wait for motivation. We're going to create it. And I'm going to teach you, I'm going to hit the 5 places where people have the most trouble with willpower, and talk about some solutions. So one thing that you need to know is this: a lot of this is going to be environment. Okay, your environment's always going to beat willpower, and every environment has an agenda. You know what I mean? Every environment has an agenda. When we went to Dark Horse, that environment had an agenda for us.
You surround yourself with, right?
Absolutely, because our mind,
something, right?
Our mind works through associations.
The agenda
You know what I mean?
was beer.
A couple beers and some soup.
You're catching on.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we can go through these whenever you're ready, the 5 points. Does that make sense though? Do you understand? What's been your experience with willpower, you guys?
Oh,
I have none.
Who does?
I get really excited about it for like a little bit of time, and then it wears off pretty quickly.
I'm not even talking about dieting or anything like that. Like I have none. Like you get me into casino, I'm gambling like a fool. You get me into a bar, I'm drinking like a fish.
But if you're really focused about something, you accomplish lots of things when you really, really want to. And it's something that like interests you, you're excited about it.
See,
you get
something that may have casualties.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a good thing.
All right. Have we gotten to point 1 yet? Was that point 1 or
no? Here's point 1. That's just getting us ready for this, so people understand what we're doing. So exercise. People have trouble with that, right? So if you wait till you feel like exercising, you usually won't, because we get tired and things like that. So here's some ideas to change environment so we can elicit the associations to get us moving in the right direction. In other words, how to create motivation instead of waiting on it. Okay. So what I recommend is put your workout clothes where you can see them. Or better yet, if you don't feel like working out, just start putting your whatever you're going to work out on, right? Put the clothes on, start dressing. That gets your body going ready for the task. Set up a space to work out. Going to the gym, for instance, was a game changer for me because I didn't have the distractions and all the associations were there. So if you're going to get in your car and go all the way to the gym, you're probably going to work out. I've
gone all the way there in the past and just stopped in the parking lot. I sat in the parking lot.
Not today.
And thought, you know what? I'm just going to go home.
It's not today.
Home. I've got to go.
Yeah.
Well, there's always the exception, but that doesn't prove the rule because you probably almost always work out and always, and schedule the time for it. So don't schedule 5:30 a.m. If you're not a morning person, you just set yourself up for failure. It will get harder, not easier, to try to get yourself out of bed at 5:30. So what you do is you find opportunities to exercise at times when, don't do it the hard way, do it the easy way. Okay.
All right. What's point
Make sense?
2? Yep.
Okay. Let's talk about food. Okay. Remember, every environment has an agenda, and your house your kitchen has an agenda. Your pantry does too. So you want to limit options, right? Limiting options is a good tactic to beat the whole willpower thing. So look, throw out the junk food. If you're going to get clean, don't lie to yourself.
But then
the environment always wins.
But then I'll buy more.
Well, the point is don't repeat that. But if you have Haagen-Dazs in the freezer, you've already eaten it. You just eventually that's what it's there for. That's its agenda. So and also don't lie to yourself. A lot of people say, "Oh, I buy it for the kids." Well, if you're not going to eat it, why would you feed it to them? Right? So don't have it in the house. Don't go hardcore. Everybody's got a sweet tooth. Go out for it. You can have dessert once in a while, but don't bring it in the house because it's gonna win. You're gonna obsess about it. The other thing is don't eat between meals. That's a good strategy, right? You don't want your blood sugar jacking up and down. These are things that won't require willpower because you're less likely to have the cravings.
All right, more with Dr. Marty coming up right now. A check on your W4 country traffic.
Things are looking pretty good. No problems to report on 94. Looks like 23 is running at posted speeds, as is 96 and M52, US 12 and M14. No problems to report at all. If you have a tip for us, 734-623-1029. Traffic is sponsored by Macy's, and that's the latest from the W4 Country Traffic Center. Oh, I forgot we need. My nose is running like uncontrollably today.
Allergies?
Yeah, they've been bad.
Me too.
Bit.
Mine don't get bad anymore, but I'll notice.
Since like last Wednesday.
Mine have been
Allergies.
real often on the last few weeks.
Stuff's growing right now.
Excuse me. What I'm sniffly.
Caffeine, L-theanine, and B vitamins.
That's what's in the gum.
Okay, so that the second one sounds like an amino acid. What's it called?
L-theanine? L-theanine?
Yeah, let's look into that. Let's see what that does. And of course, the caffeine. We always know that that's going to be a performance-enhancing drug.
I wish we had caffeine gum this morning. I'm sleepy.
Go get some coffee.
I'll give you a pack. I have a whole box of this stuff. I'll give you a pack and see if you like it. All right.
It can be
Morning
found.
show hopped up on gum.
I'll put that like a chipmunk in my mouth.
Just chomp.
Looks like a chaw. So what is this thing doing?
It can be found in
What's that?
green and black tea.
Pamela said if I snack between meals, it's usually a hard-boiled egg, almonds, or even a scoop of peanut butter. Is this okay? I think that's okay because that's protein. That'll get you through to the next instead of like empty calories, right?
But I consider, yeah, I consider that an environmental move because what you're doing is this: you take high protein and fat too, won't jack your insulin up and down to make you hungry. I mean, think about bread in restaurants. Why would they give you bread when they want you to run up a bill? Right? It doesn't fill you up. It makes you hungry. So you want to choose foods that will keep your blood, that won't spike insulin, and so you get that crash and get you hungry. Like that's true of candy. Like that's why I don't like to eat candy, because if you start eating candy, guess what? It's hard. The Starbursts, even Starbursts are kind of gross if you think about it. That's not a good candy.
Those strawberries
People love it.
are really good.
So good.
Disagree.
Right?
That may be what you tell yourself,
Dang.
Marty, so you don't eat them.
No, but if I start eating them, I'll keep eating them. So I don't even, sugar works like cocaine. It works on dopamine.
Oh, hi,
Right, so
Lana. Lana says she just finished exercising with the help of W4 Music. Thanks and welcome back.
Cool. Good for you.
Her birthday was last week. I
It
hope you had a
was.
good birthday, Lana.
Yeah. Anna and I talk a lot.
She's a nice lady.
She's going to have a good day too. If you get your workout in first thing, you have a better day.
I prefer working out in the morning. With the show, I can't get up early enough to do it.
You don't want to get up at like 2 a.m. to work out.
Mm-mm.
And that's why it doesn't happen.
Exactly.
It should happen. I mean, maybe
No,
your first
like,
break.
then you get to like lunchtime, and then it's like you got to eat, and then you don't want to work out right
And
after
then
you
it's
eat.
happy hour.
And then it's like, I'm tired. I'll try it again tomorrow.
I have paint on my legs. I don't know how I got that.
You were painting.
I know, but not my legs.
You were splashing.
I splashed a lot.
You have
Paint
a horrible
spatters.
eyesight, and you wonder why you have paint everywhere other than where it's supposed to be.
Like even noticing little speckles on my leg.
Are they freckles?
White freckles?
Ooh.
Oh, those are the worst kind.
I actually
See a
have.
doctor about those.
You better WebMD those.
Wait, really? I
freckles.
have a white freckle on my leg.
It's cancer.
Is it?
No, I'm just.
No, cut it
No,
out.
oh, don't do that.
I literally made that up just now. I don't know what they mean. I'm not a dermatologist, but I don't think
It's
they're the worst
somewhere.
kind.
A white
It's on
freckle
my-
has to be cancer.
It's on my shit.
Oh.
You stop it
If
right
it-
now.
No.
Round, then it's really
No, I
bad
didn't say it moved. I
Well,
just
you-
don't know exactly where it's. I
'cause it-
can't pull my pants
because it
up.
moves around.
40 seconds.
You stop it, both of you. I think it's up higher. It's over here somewhere.
Cody has a question.
Cody, let's see.
Big
Come
question.
on, let's see.
Can you throw that in? I'm gone now.
Would
Put
you
Welch
have-
in that box.
Would you?
My
I
face
can't.
is
I don't know how to
gone.
do it. Would you agree that lack of
Yeah.
motivation can be derivative from conditioning? We live in a fast-paced, reward-based society. If we aren't getting the dopamine response from immediate reward,
10
you have
seconds.
a tendency to no longer strive
Mhm.
toward the thing you wanted to complete.
All right, stand by. Don't answer that, Marty.
Yes.
102.9 W4 Country and Hotel Key. It's Old Dominion. We have Dr. Marty here at 7:57, your Monday morning jumpstart. We're talking about motivation. What's point number 3?
Point number 3, and it kind of goes into that question. So Cody asked if, are we so addicted to dopamine because of the fast pace of the society and things like that? And that seems to be the case for sure. So one tactic that we use to get things done instead of willpower is actually the recovery thing. Right. So relaxation recovery, like, Bill Gates goes away for a week just to, do this, to kill the old conditioning so new things can come in. And that kind of relates to point number 3. So let's talk about alcohol. So some people have trouble resisting that. So the strategy is this: create the effect that you want other ways. So alcohol works on GABA. GABA calms us down, right? It works as an anxiolytic. Now, later on, you pay a price because you drain all that GABA and then you don't have it. So you can be more anxious later. So what you want to do is you want to get those effects in other ways. There are relaxation techniques that we know the mechanisms, that we know why they work. There are certain breathing techniques. There's like getting a lot of sleep. There is not being stressed by being lonely. If you have anger issues, you see a therapist or whatever like that. But you want to get the effects so you won't have the cravings, because you're not craving the substance, you're craving the feeling. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Marty, I think we're all familiar with an anxiolytic, but for for safety's sake, can you explain?
Oh, I'm sorry. Anti-anxiety, right? It's anti-anxiety. People, look, I'll know what's going on with someone by their drug of choice usually, because I know what effects that they want. And anxious people, not everybody, of course, but what they like is that it relaxes them. If you ask them why they drink so much, they don't know how to relax any other way. So they wear out their willpower after maybe a few days, and they go and binge. So what I do is help you to get that effect. Focus on the effect, and then set your environment up and your behaviors up to get that effect. And that's the effect of relaxation and calm.
All right, more with Dr. Marty coming up on 102.9 W4 Country. Brand new music, Ashley McBride. It's called One Night Standards, and it's on 102.9 W4 Country.
Look at this one, Brian Welch.
Ooh.
Can you see the metallic on it or no?
Good morning, Troy.
I can see it's reflecting your screen. Yeah.
Oh,
That's high gloss.
it's nice finish.
So back to Cody's question, there was something I came across a couple of years ago saying that what video games, the real danger of video games to kids is not desensitizing them to violence or teaching violence, but it's teaching a formulaic way of life, where there's a set number of, specific things you have to do in a video game to advance to the next level. And it reliably does that. So like every time you play, that level, if you do the things in sequence properly, you advance. Life's not always like that. You can do everything right, but it doesn't get you to the next level. It doesn't get the goal that you were at. And you've played a lot of video games and you're used to that structure. You're just like, well, what do you mean?
That's tough, because you have expectations. You think you're doing what you're supposed to be doing,
right?
And then it doesn't work out that way.
Yeah, it's just like, this game is glitchy. I want to play another one.
Yeah.
The other thing, that's a good point. And the other thing that Cody brings up is this: you get this intense dopamine release without actually working on it. What you're doing is you're timing a button and releasing dopamine. It's like a morphine pump almost, only for dopamine. I'm just pushing a button, that's it. But my brain, my entire physiology feels like I've accomplished something exciting and very rewarding. Now you're craving that. Now you have to contrast that with other, studying or something like that. Our environment, our actual environment is there to help us to release those neurotransmitters, right? Well, you're doing it in an artificial way. It's almost like a virtual reality where you're not really living life. You're just pushing buttons to feel something. Does that make sense?
Until you run out of buttons, but you don't know what buttons to push anymore.
Push them all.
Well, because you push the same ones over and over again, you don't get the response you're looking for. Or
it's always the same button.
It's not a healthy response.
Right. But when it comes down to it, you're sitting looking into a screen and pushing a button and timing it.
Lana says, Welch, do you know of any studies comparing heavy gamer anxiety with non-gamer anxiety?
Lana, I don't. I'm sorry. I just gave you the extent of my knowledge of how video games affect people.
Stand by 20 seconds. 102.9 W4. 102.9 W4 Country and the Breakfast with Bubba Show. Ashley McBride and One Night Standards. It's 8:02 at WWWW FM Ann Arbor. Thank you for listening along. Dr. Marty is here. One more point, please, on willpower.
Oh, actually, we're at number 4, but you want me to rush through these?
Nope, just give me 4, and then we're going to hold you.
Okay, sleep. Okay, only use the bedroom for sleep and parcheesi.
Parcheesi?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You could because you want to condition. You don't want to condition yourself to be, you want to hyper, in your way. So like screens, for instance. Here's a good thing that you can do, because a lot of people like to lay in bed and surf. Try to just use the audio. Right. Don't let the screen, because we know the blue light's going to affect it, and we also know that you're going the wrong direction when you're searching for things. That makes you more alert. Also, you can let the sunlight in. Try to get on the normal sleep cycle, so don't have a darkened room where you can't see the sun come up, because we know that the circadian rhythm gets disrupted when that happens. Set the room. Sometimes just buy new bedding and things like that. Change the environment to break the old conditioning and get the new one. But what you want to do is you want your body to recognize there are two things that happen in here, and so it can get entry to the. I shouldn't say that. So you can elicit that response and not the other responses.
All right, more with Dr. Marty in a moment. Right now, we're going to check traffic and find out what's going on your drive into work.
No major problems to report. 94 should be running pretty smoothly. Looks like 23 is also maybe just a little heavier traffic on US 12 right around 23. If you have a tip for us, 734-623-1029. Traffic is sponsored by Macy's, and that's the latest from the W4 Country Traffic Center.
Ready to go. Power steering and hydro transmissions make driving fun and easy for the whole family. Want to stay out of the weather? Cab tractors with heat and AC in stock. Buckets, forks, snow blades.
I will say, when I get new sheets, or even if I just wash my sheets and put my bed back together properly, it makes me feel so good. I get good night's sleep.
Doesn't it? Yeah, it relaxes you, doesn't it?
For the 5th year in
You can't hear him, honey.
highest quality.
Can't hear him.
6-year warranty.
Well, we got the commercials coming.
Low interest financing. Qualify. Eshelman Equipment in Whitmore Lake is at exit 50 on US 23, just north of Ann Arbor. Call 734-994-6000. That's 734-994-6000. Storm season is here.
Marty's gone back to playing his guitar.
Bella says she seems to have lost motivation since the whole lockdown thing went into effect.
Oh, I know. See, that's what happened. All of the things that we used to do disappeared to self-soothe, to motivate, and our options were so limited. Loneliness and isolation and boredom are terribly stressful, and that's what people are facing with this stuff. And plus all the negative messages and things like that we're getting on screens.
Cody said, it's funny you bring up the virtual reality thing. There have been studies where veterans have been utilizing VR technology to replicate situations where their anxiety and past gets triggered, and they are able to work through those scenarios with no physical risk, essentially rewriting their neurological and physiological response.
Yeah. So well, that's very goal directed. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in the next one. Matter of fact, he's anticipating what we're going to talk about there. But there is neuroplasticity, which means that our thoughts, and we know this from studies with imaging, our thoughts actually can restructure our brain. We can sit here like this and actually achieve something. Think about drumming. Let's say there's a difficult pattern, Brian Welch. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you just imagine that pattern over and over and playing it, and you get the sequence and the rhythm down right? You'll be better when you sit down to play again. And we can see the brain changes in the chemistry through the imaging, through MRIs and earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I thought through, like, you know, where I want my hands to go when playing a piece.
It's like practicing a speech or something before you go give it. You not just practicing it, but imagining, you know, actually or being in the space, doing like a dress rehearsal for it or something.
Yeah, it's rehearsal like that. But think about the implications of that. The mind changes the body. We have it the other way in this culture for the longest time, that our brains produce thoughts. Well, thoughts can produce brain, right? At least the neural connections.
Whoa.
That's amazing. I know, it's mind blowing.
This sort of ties in with like how shockingly fallible our memory is. And we believe that memory is memory. Like, we believe that all the things that we see in our mind are photographs. And in fact, we can, our brains easily manipulate and change things.
That's been shown over and over. Memories are constructed, right? And even state specific. And that's why it's important in environments, because part of what we're doing when we go into a certain environment, we're evoking that response and including memories, right? That's how conditioning works. But memories certainly aren't accurate. We know that. You can even put false memories, implant false memories. There's confabulation. I've had pictures before where I thought I actually experienced the event, but when I was like 2 years old, and I realized, because I thought I remembered that, it was actually a photograph I was remembering. I can't remember the actual event. I just remember seeing the photograph later on in life, so I can remember that.
Have you ever heard of the Mandela effect, Marty?
No, what is that?
So it's a group misremembering something, where it's like, if you ask a bunch of people, we would all swear that, you know, say the line from, was it Sleeping Beauty? We all swear it's mirror, mirror on the wall. It's magic mirror on the wall.
Oh, wow.
That's one of those things that we sort of collectively remember, and then we kind of carry it forward. It was named for, like, when Nelson Mandela died, there were a lot of folks who thought he'd already passed away several years ago.
Oh, I got you. It's like a group memory that is inaccurate.
Yeah, we collectively, like, kind of rewrote that memory, and it's shared by a lot of people.
Wow. That could prove to be dangerous. And eyewitness testimony, we know it's notoriously unreliable. But we'll remember what we rehearse, right?
I think it's funny too, like, you hear your parents talk about stories when you were a little kid, and or you've seen pictures of it or something, and then you sort of have that memory in your head, but there's no way that you really remembered that. You were way too young.
Yep.
Right.
Or certainly not so vividly.
Well, that's why advertising and marketing and all this stuff is can be so dangerous. It's because it's so effective. You keep putting a message across, keep putting it across, and see what happens. It's and as far as I can tell, what we call politics today is basically from the strategies and tactics from the marketing and advertising industry.
Yep.
I have the hiccups now.
I'm super sleepy all of a sudden.
Yeah, Cody, the Berenstain Bears is a good one. A good example of the Mandela effect.
What's that?
The way the word Berenstain is spelled,
and
the way that we all remember it.
We say Bernstein?
No, it's Berenstein versus Berenstain, and I forget which one is right.
I think I'm too old for that.
You might be.
I missed that one.
Cody and I are similar ages. We grew up reading the Berenstain Bears.
I was a Curious George generation.
Stain is correct.
Berenstain.
I had so many of those books.
Yeah, we had a lot of them.
Yeah, I forgot about those. They made me tired.
I need a second cup of coffee. I only had one today.
The
Oh.
coffee room is open.
The secret coffee room.
Got mine.
Yeah, I think I might go make some.
Need a Keurig in here.
I bought you the other thing and you never used it.
You didn't buy that for me. You bought that for you. First of all.
No, didn't I give it to
No.
us for Christmas?
Well, yeah, but that was your idea, and that's the one that you wanted.
Maybe he wanted because it was
It's great,
so-
but it's just too
so
loud.
good.
We can't use it.
Well, a Keurig would be the same thing. We can't have it in here.
Keurig could be loud. And everybody would come use our Keurig.
I don't know. Nobody uses the other one. What if nobody knew that it was in here?
Well, both of you are.
Right? How many other
What do you
people
mean
are
nobody?
sneaking in there?
Well, but not like when not when the building is full of people and normal coffee is in the break room.
$50 seconds.
I'm just using the tools I've been given, and I haven't been given any tools, so I found a way to use my own. Or I found my own, I guess. Lana says, well, what do you do in your spare time? How the heck do you know all this?
I read a lot.
He reads a lot, right?
$30 seconds.
Standing by.
.2.9 W4 Country, and then it's Brad Paisley. Good morning. Time right now is 8:14, and you found the Breakfast with Bubba show with Bubba and Madison Raleigh.
Good morning.
We have Brian Welch here with the forecast.
Sunny, highs in the mid 80s.
And I hope you had a great weekend. Welcome into your Monday. We're holding over the Monday morning jumpstart just a little long this morning. We ran over with Dr. Marty. We're talking about willpower and 5 points with willpower to get you through it, why willpower doesn't work. Point number 5, Marty, please.
Okay, just general skill building. So people want to learn things like golf or an instrument or something like that. And then they start it and then they abandon it. So what can we do about that so we don't rely on willpower? So can I show you around here? Like this room here is just for music. And I don't know if you see all the guitars, you can see the headstocks and just religious devotion. That's it. So I have some imagery for that. I have my instruments here. It's kind of a little junky now because we painted. But and all the books are there. So when I'm in here, I get in that state of mind. So if it's golf or something like that, you want to go to the same spot and have the same sort of routine and structure. So after work, I go and chip balls or something like that. But the environment is so vital to getting the motivation going. So also make an effort. Why does that work? Part of it is because you've made an effort already, and we tend to commit to the things that we've already put effort into. So if you put time, money, effort into arranging the space. When I started playing music again, I created the space for it first. That's what I did for like 2 weeks. Just preparing for it mentally and rehearsing that. The other thing that works a lot is imagery. So when you're away from the task, we just talked about that a little bit about drumming, right? Brian Welch, that you can rehearse, and that actually wires the brain in to not only perform better, but to keep motivation going because you're getting the reward even away from the actual physical practice.
By kind of walking through it in your head.
Yeah, absolutely. That really works a lot because look, what we don't like about anxiety or what we don't like about when we procrastinate, it's anxiety because we're thinking, oh man, that's going to be too hard, too much effort. That's the feeling. But by rehearsing it, gain entry into the task. And also it motivates you to, because of the familiarity of it, to say, okay, this is cool. I can do that. Right. So that really does work a lot, the mental rehearsal.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Martin Fletcher, with your Monday morning jumpstart. Let's get another check on traffic. What do you got?
No major problems to report. 94 is running smoothly. So is 23. No problems on 96. Maybe just a little heavier traffic right on 96, right at the 23 interchange. US 12, M52, and M14 looking good. If you have a tip for us, 734-623-1029. Traffic is sponsored by Macy's, and that's the latest from the W4 Country Traffic Center.
My goodness, I love the way my house looks with Shack Shine. I had them come out and do window cleaning, gutter cleaning, house washing, power washing. That's right, house washing. You said it best when it's like a giant toothbrush.
Yeah, they just came and brushed the whole thing.
They brushed the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
I put a video of it on my social media. You definitely want to call Shack Shine. All those tasks, all those things that you just don't want to do around your house, they do it, and they do it so well. And they show up, they're friendly, they're uniformed, and it's professional. So proud to have them in my home and in my neighborhood. In fact, so professional were they got the attention of neighbors, and they actually got a few jobs off of just coming and doing my house by the way they show up. You're going to be proud to have them there. I had Jacob and Dylan out, and they did an amazing job. Book a free estimate or exterior house detailing service by visiting online at shackshine.com. That's shackshine.com. Go on there. Trust me, you're going to love the way your house looks. Shack Shine, your home will love you. Hey, Marty,
Right.
we just ran out of time for the
He's
bonus.
here and he dropped.
Oh,
so
did he? Okay.
We can say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.